You are about to be fixed. Physics Fixed. Better than real. Where each brief episode brings insight you've never had before, no matter how many books you've read or written. If you know enough physics to see its gaps, you'll find many fixed in this series. It's Occam's razor in the hands of Jack the Ripper. Fixed blows right past convention, so it's not for everyone. And be advised, it's way too cool for school. Today, Fixed takes a shot at the whole shebang. Previously, Fixed interpreted that zero-interval separation means direct physical contact, thus adding a vastly larger category of remote contact to classical contact. Just as a sphere has more radii than a circle, 4D must offer exponentially more contact paths than 3D. Remote contact occurs when space and time are equal but non-zero. Fixed now shares an important implication you'll find nowhere else. Direct physical contact bypassing space and time of potentially any span is more simply characterized as a wormhole, specifically a particle interaction wormhole or pinhole. This obviates the photon model, which doesn't mean we can't use it, just that we don't need to. And you know what Occam says about that. To begin with, there's no place to fit a photon. Relativity reveals that as speed goes to limit c, path length vanishes to zero, leaving no room for an intermediary. Nor is there time for one, as no time elapses for a transiting quantum. Of note, a photon arriving in our eye from a distant star will not have aged despite having spent years in its passage. In fact, the particle aspects of light are only evident at the point of contact for emission and absorption, not in between. For example, crossed laser beams pass wave-like through each other rather than exhibit particle-like collisions. Similarly, interference patterns are wave phenomena, which conflict with a particle model while in transit. The wave aspects of light will be a future Fixed episode. Wormholes have become accepted objects in quantum mechanics. Searching ER equal EPR reveals an Einstein-Rosen bridge, or wormhole, is equivalent to the connection between entangled particles. An early article notes, EPR pairs and non-traversable wormholes are equivalent descriptions of the same physics. Another states, an Einstein-Podolsky-Rosen pair is a string with a wormhole on its world sheet. The term spinhole for spatial interconnecting wormhole, coined a few years earlier in anticipation of these, is apt, because spin is the most often correlated property. The strength of entanglement does not diminish with separation, indicating a one-dimensional nature of the connection. Similarly, a light quantum does not diminish with distance. Now let's consider some more familiar wormholes. Here's a Boggs-eumorphic map, which does a great job representing geographic areas. But what about these gaps? Those voids have structure. For example, from point A, a traveler can get to B, but not to C or D, as if a bridge or zero-length wormhole connects A to B. Of course, knowing the spherical structure of Earth's surface, we just say A and B are in contact. But if you just knew the structure of our 4D continuum, you'd say the same about light-like separation. It's contact, attributable to a pinhole. The trick is realizing 4D separation is not purely spatial. Inclination with respect to time corresponds to speed. The entrance to a pinhole is thus only available at limit c. Spacetime is divided into time-like and space-like regions with a light-like border. Spinholes are non-traversable because they occur in the space-like superluminal region. Such connections serve only as a reference about which properties such as spin may correlate. The world lines of massive particles may be considered temporal intra-connecting wormholes, occupying the subluminal region. They connect a particle's past and future, corresponding to the translation of its mass energy. Fixed models transmission of light quanta via pinholes. Being light-like, they are semi-traversable, supporting communication of energy and information. Like billiard balls colliding, the excess energy of an emitting electron transits, but not its rest mass. With interval time coordinates, the regions look like this. In both cases, speed limit c refers to inclination, while light-like interval span remains zero. The model is universal, but a photon doesn't make a great particle. It is massless, ageless, pathless, chargeless, and restless. While purported to have gravitation relating to m equal e over c squared, photons do not exhibit inertia relating to m equal f over a, since photons are born at speed c with seemingly infinite acceleration, but inexplicably only to that limit. Such properties arise naturally from direct contact. Richard Feynman wrote, "To state that the propagation speed of light is invariant is the same as saying that the interval is zero." Phyxed restates this with insight you've never had before. Invariant speed limit c exists because to all observers, nothing can get closer than contact. C is the absolute speed limit because contact is the absolute proximity limit. Step outside tonight and touch the stars. Pinholes are ours. Congratulations! You've been fixed. Better than real. Is it worth the trouble to drop photons without some proof of pinholes? Next time, Phyxed identifies a definitive, ongoing experiment in applying a light touch. I'll see you there, if you dare. Ha ha! Veritasium does a truly fine job explaining conventional physics. See for yourself.